Hey, what's up? It's Rashad Antonio, X-Men 97, Disney Plus, of course. This is the MCU Collective where we talk about MCU stuff. Duh. Episode 4 is a split episode. We have half of Motendo with an MO,
Mm-hmm.
and the other half is Life Death Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say off the top, this because these were both like half like a truncated like story arcs, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak. And I don't really know. Like this is the episode where I felt like they could have actually did a different thing. Like the Motino episode could have been like a much larger episode,
Mm-hmm.
and then they could have had a legit part one and part two whole episodes
Of life death.
of life death, or either have it like one like 45-minute episode. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Motendo joint, it was fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was cute.
It was cute. This probably was the most um 90s episode that they've had so far to
Yes, with
me.
that Motendo, like what that 15 minutes of Motendo. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And it's funny because they're like each episode they're like constantly hinting towards other stuff that's coming next. Like
Mm-hmm.
last episode, what's the lady that had like the six arms? Whatever.
Spiral.
Yeah, like
Yeah, Spiral. Yeah.
yeah, because she was in this episode. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's just funny how they're making these little small connective things, um, like real low key.
Mm-hmm.
And even every week it's a different person saying, last time on X-Men. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? This week was, I believe, was Jubilee.
Yeah, it was
So
Jubilee
yeah,
Voice this
so they're
time.
doing a
Yeah.
lot of just a lot of different stuff because to me, the story should have been all life death. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Motenda was cool, but the life death storyline
Mm-hmm.
is just a more interesting storyline.
I'm gonna tell you what it felt like for me. It felt like the Motendo was something fun they really wanted to put in there, but they didn't want to spend a lot of time on it because they didn't want to have, I guess, what you call a. It came off this way as a filler episode, almost kind of like a filler episode, almost. I don't want to say it was, but
Yeah,
kind of like a
yeah,
filler
yeah,
episode. And I feel like it was like, yo, we want to do something fun with this or whatever, but we don't want to give this a full episode, you know. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying for this or whatever. Like we've in the past on the X-Men, we've seen the from the 90s they've done a Christmas episode and stuff like that, but I think they just didn't want to do a full-blown episode for it. And the Motendo part, like I said, was fun, nostalgic. It took me back to being 13, 14 year
Playing
old
eight,
kid.
playing, even younger than
Yeah,
that, playing like regular Nintendo 8
right,
bit. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
But that life death one was, yeah.
That's gonna be the story because oh yeah, I I just want to say
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why this show is so horny. This show is so horny, Tony. You know what I'm
And,
saying?
and, and this is what makes it funny. This show is a very horny show. However,
Okay.
they've
I think
toned down the sexualization of certain characters in the artwork
yeah.
from the 90s.
But on top of that,
Uh-huh.
I think it's because we're just adults now, and like we get like the references are just so to me, it's like so like on the nose. But to like an 8-year old, it's like, oh man, I don't understand that. For example, first scene, Rogue was like, "Oh, I see you got not Rogue. Gambit is like, hey, you might want to try some cream in your coffee."
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, "Oh, don't worry about it, Shug, man. You already got me some coffee."
Got me some coffee.
And
And
then
then my
and
man
then
said, yeah, 3 sugars.
like yeah, this is so blatant. You know what I'm saying?
And the funny part about that part too was he ain't bring like a sugar container or sugar cups or whatever. He bought 3 freaking spoons of sugar. I said, yo, Magneto Riz game is on. Listen, this is a new turnaround to pick up. His Riz game is top notch, yo, whatever. And Gambit
Yo,
just sitting there looking. looking stupid with his sexy crop top
Man.
rock band shirt, just looking crazy.
Like, man, I can't. I ain't
I
getting
can't win for
nowhere. I can't win for losing with this dude, yo. He gonna levitate 3 tablespoons of sugar. It's so unnecessary.
Right.
Nah, yo, but that joke was fun. And then like just as a bookend, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
we got Rogue and I'm not Rogue. We got Jubilee and Sunspot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you go through this like almost life-ending event where Sunspot he probably could have died in the game if it wasn't for said Stripe. The,
Yeah,
what's her name?
Future Jubilee is the beta version of
No,
Jubilee.
but it wasn't even. I mean, like it was Beta Jubilee, and it was
Mm-hmm.
the other girl
Spiral.
too. Spiral.
Yeah,
Because
uh-huh.
Spiral was like in the background of that whole thing. And
Mm-hmm.
then and then Beta Jubilee was just trying to help him out the whole time, which was funny. This is
Yeah.
very, very like in the game, like almost like a like okay. Beta Jubilee was the cheat code. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So which was another very 90s, 80s thing when it comes to video games as well.
You know what it was giving me the whole time, the Motendo part? It
What's
was giving
that?
me the Matrix.
And there's a couple. There's a legit Matrix reference in it, and I
Mm-hmm.
just don't remember what it was. Like
Yeah,
it's
I know what you're talking
very,
about. Yeah,
it was so blunt. Oh, that's Matrix.
yeah, because
But yeah.
it was glitchy, and it's like in the Matrix and on the movie The Matrix, just about all the people that were interacting with Morpheus to train them, they were programs, and that's all the Beta Jubilee was a program of Jubilee that just aged in the Matrix. Because at first I was like, what the hell Longshot doing with a metal spike helmet on when we first see it? But I was like, that looks shaped like a woman there, but okay, whatever. It is her. Uh so one thing about the Motendo thing that cracked me up, I was dying laughing when Jubilee was frying Magneto when she was mocking him because it's her 18th birthday and she's
Yeah.
in like they're all like, yo, it's Jubilee's 18th birthday. Let's do something fun for Magneto. It's such the stickler. He was like, she needs to practice and develop her powers more than what it is. Because if she was able to do that, then she would live to have more birthdays. She would have 18 more birthdays and more birthdays than that.
Yo, Magneto is a sheer pragmatist. He's like, look,
Yes.
A, B, then C. All right. I don't care
Yeah.
about your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Danger Room. You see how me and Robin booking these joints? You need to be booking these joints too.
Yeah.
I'm getting hella practice. I'm so good. I'm so good at my magnetism. You know what I'm saying? I have animal-like magnetism now. You know what I'm saying?
Where she might be start using them up with Roberto, you know what I'm saying, to help that out. But yeah, and so it's like Jubilee walks in, it's like, yo, what's up? Because that's a milestone birthday. 18. But she coming in there, hey, what's going on? She was dancing. What she said? She said, who shoots sparks out of her 2 thumbs? And his birthday is 18. This one right here. I was like, good God. And even Wolverine, who's, he's always brooding and sulking, was like, hey, yeah, man, the kid needs to have some fun or whatever. They had some cupcakes and stuff for her. And they was like, all right, Rogue. Rogue was like, all right, sugar, what you want to do? I want to go to the arcade. I know it seems the look on Magneto's face where he was like,
arcade.
It was like, huh? And then it don't even show the interaction. It just cuts to her in the room with Roberto, and she's just like, "Oh, you're the father of magnetism. You expect me to go dwell with us, the mortals?" And he was so pissed off at that. But they did tell her, "Hey, we're gonna have some surprises for you, some surprises and everything." And this is just the weirdest thing ever. Why would Jubilee think that? Oh, we're gonna surprise you with a video game system? She just looks over. No, it was like the dude was like, oh, so you like it? Oh, what's that right there? And she said, what's a Motendo? I think I am starting, Rashad, at my age now, starting to become the crotchety old man that's on the porch. I think I'm starting to become the get off my lawn dude,
Yes,
for real.
embrace it.
Because I'm sitting here like, you idiot. Why are you just like something's in your room that you have no idea what it is, and you're not going to go out there and be like, yo, y'all get me this or something that
she was like, this gotta be my
This
surprise.
gotta be my surprise. 18 years old.
He
Hey.
was like, yo, get on these sticks. I'm about to run your fade. He's like, well, I don't play games.
But did you notice though? Did you notice that the cartridge that was in the game was like the cartridge for the Sega Genesis X-Men game that came out in the 90s?
It
So the
was.
episode is called Motendo, so which is a combination of Mojo and Nintendo, which is even more funny because the regular Nintendo did not have an X-Men video game for it or whatever. They didn't get their first X-Men game until Super Nintendo, which I had, and that was X-Men Children of the Apocalypse. But they called it Motendo, and then they had the actual, it looked like the cartridge for the Sega Genesis X-Men game inside the system. And she was like, run my fade on these sticks. They pick up the sticks that they come on. And at first I said, yo, they caught the techno virus. They caught the techno virus out here. They
I was like,
transposed.
man, what is going on? Yo, like I absolutely hate how that looks. It just,
Yeah.
I get the ick every time I see that. Like, oh, it looks so
it's
disgusting.
just crawling up. I was like,
it's like just like lines, like just
yeah.
blocks like Tetris on their body, yo. I can't stand it.
Tetris. So they pass out and they wake up and they're like, hey, how long were we playing and how long were we like sleeping here or whatnot? They look at it's just weird stuff that starts to happen. And then Jubilee realizes, yo, I think we inside this game. And meanwhile, this is what pissed me off even more. Jubilee, you 18 years old now, girl. Show a little bit, huh?
Time to grow up.
Yeah, show a little bit of common sense. Roberto was like, yo, we got to get out of here. She was like, yo, this is awesome. Let's relax.
Hey.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Let them cook. You know what I'm saying?
Cook. And the next thing you know, we see good old Mojo, but we see anorexic Mojo. Because my first look, I said, the hell is wrong with Mojo? Like, why is he?
Like Mojo done went and got a daggone gastric bypass out here.
Right.
You know
there go Mojo out here on that Zampic. Yeah. and they're like, and it's funny because Jubilee remembers Mojo from last time, and Mojo is just on his whole, hey man, I ain't got my ratings going. My ratings ain't been good since y'all, baby. Y'all X-Men came and y'all set things up, made it great, whatever. And so what do we get next is he's just like, hey, live out your dreams, Jubilee. You stay here, do this, you get ratings. You never go old. You ain't got to go back to that BS. You just play games. And she's all like, yeah, that sounds great. I was like, you idiot. Like, Jubilee just irritates.
Mojo said, you're one of my elite employees.
Yeah, you were my elite employee. And then it's funny because she was like, yo, you kind of lost some weight. Yeah, thanks. It was like, thanks for noticing or whatever. And did they say it? He said something like because they haven't had like no good ratings and stuff. He's like,
I mean, whatever. Like again, so
whatever. And so they're playing, and so they go through playing the game, and then this is the part that I really got excited with. I was like, this looks like the actual 8-bit game. Also, the 16-bit with really the 16-bit game. It looked like a version of the arcade game that we used to play, Rashad, back
side scrolling. Yep.
Yeah, the side scrolling, and it was the four with the four controllers. Right, it looked like that game where all you can do is go straight and you just move up and down on the screen, and it looked like some of the same like boards that would look like the Savage Land board, and I was like, yo, this is. I said, this is where they got me with this episode and stuff. And she's doing her thing, and Sunspot is like, yeah, this is awesome. And she's telling Sunspot, hey, dude, you need to use your powers and stuff. And he like, yeah, no, I don't. First he was like, no, when he didn't know what he was at. He was like, hey, man, my mom might be watching this or whatever. Because he's horrified. He's horrified. And we saw that too in the previous episode with the Goblin Queen. She put that image of his mother like I guess at the home, conversations about mutants have come at the home, and the mom might not be as welcoming to mutants or sympathetic to the mutant
parents
cause.
are definitely like mutant bigots.
Yeah. So he's like scared. He's in the closet with his mutanism, to say, saying mutanism, to say the least. So let's just finish wrapping up this Motendo part. Long story short, there's also like a program that's helping them out in there along with Spiral. Mojo snap, and he's like, Spiral, I told you to stop her and everything. And it was a thing where they was about to get ready to die, and this person helps them out. And they're like, yo, who are you? And she takes the mask off, and it's like Grandma Jubilee. Jubilee is like probably in her 60s or something. And Jubilee's like, what the hell? And I was confused too. And she basically said, hey, I'm a beta program. I'm a program that they created that was a copy of you to do this. And I'm the only one that survived. And I figured out a way to get out the system. And I found this world in between worlds of the game system where I can live. And she basically shows Jubilee. She's doing all this stuff, and Jubilee's like, yo, when do I get those powers? She's like, you keep practicing, kid, you're gonna get. And some of them powers that the old Jubilee had was dope. Like she could skate along the with her little blast on her feet. She was making shapes and stuff and everything like that. But no, regular Jubilee was wanting to play fucking video games.
Yeah. By the way, they low key made future Jubilee a MILF. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did. They did. She had the pixie cut going. She's sitting there chewing her gum, and she was looking good. They slow key made her a MILF. So they beat the game. Mojo tries to come get them. They take out Mojo, and Spiral is like, yeah, all right. And she kicks Mojo out the chair and sends them back. Because I think Spiral is probably tired of Mojo BS as well or whatnot. And that's the end of the Motendo. Also, in episode, they were talking at the end, Roberto, aka Sunspot, and Jubilee were talking, and she was just like, yo, I see what you're saying, blah, 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 this and that. And then they proceed to bus swap. The bus swabs, whatever they call it. They were slobbing each other down, kissing. And then they went to the corny route, Rashard. I guess the kiss was so good, there were fireworks because she started her little fireworks sparkling starting. I was like, all right.
Yeah, we definitely imply that he hit that. You know what I'm saying? Like, again,
definitely.
Show is so horny.
Yeah. And I guess to make it seem like it's okay, she is 18. It's their 18th birthday on the show or whatever.
I didn't even think about it like that.
And I'm pretty sure he's like about 19, 18, 19, maybe 20 or so.
And it was consensual. You know
and it was consensual because she went after him.
Yeah.
Let's get to the good part, Rashad.
All right, so now we have the Lifedeath, and we have your boy Forge. You know what I'm saying? And he is a mutant that can basically make anything. Mm-hmm. And he also was friends with the Professor, you know, from before. Mm-hmm. They also have a future version of him. You know what I'm saying? That Bishop knows, but this is just, I guess, is regular day Forge.
And I do like how they call back too, because there's a picture of the X-Force team, which is a government mutant team, because that they did pop up in the old show or whatever. And so Forge out there with his tank top and sexy short shorts.
Yeah.
Who wears short shorts?
Yeah, Forge wears short shorts. Forge wears short shorts. Forge is like, oh man, I got 2 missions. First, I gotta fix this black lady. Second, I gotta get to the yams. Did you get to the
yams? Sweet yams. And people may want to know what race Forge is. Forge is Native American.
Yeah.
I think he's a Cheyenne Native American, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But
First Nations he is, and of course he can make anything. Like if it can be made, it can be made, to the point where he basically made weaponry for against his own people. You know what I'm saying? Pulled a what's that character's name? Sabine Wren from
he did Star Wars. Sabine Wren. Yes, he did pull a Sabine. He also, it seems like, created his metal prosthetic leg and hand that he lost in the war, in whatever war it was too.
He definitely lost an arm and like a half a leg, and he said, you know what, I'm gonna Colossus myself back together. And
because he said how his powers work is like he can look at anything mechanical and understand how it works, period. He can just look at it and be like, okay, that's how it works. But if he could just think of something like, oh, I want to make neutron ray blaster from. But if he can find the parts, he can schematically draw it up and like, this is how you make it. But that doesn't necessarily make it if you don't have the parts to to make it or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's telling all this to Storm, and Storm is like,
Someone's like, look, if I can get my powers back, then I'll stay a few days. And this man is I feel like he took a long time to make the part.
Oh yeah,
because he was taking his time. He was making her dinner. You know what I'm saying? He was having these long conversations.
They also did something very erotic. Horseback riding is extremely couples horseback riding is extremely erotic for people that don't know that. What
another euphemism? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like you taking her like, oh, I'm looking at. I almost let the girl die. I'm like, what are you doing, yo? Like, the clip is right here. You should have told her. But yeah, so there's a whole lot of that going on. A lot of sexual energy just being displayed in this part of the episode. And now he finally starts to make the mechanism that can hopefully give her powers back. And it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? She's devastated. And for some reason, in her devastation, he's like, look, I don't know if you know, but girl, I love you.
Yes.
I'm like, your timing is terrible. You couldn't even fix her.
You are a goddess.
Regardless, you got your powers or not, baby girl. You can be my goddess any day.
My man was coming at her like one of the if I say like one of those hotep black dudes, my beautiful black queen, beautiful black queen, mother of
Nubian goddess.
Nubian goddess. You are she, and I am he, and I love you, girl. Like, I was sitting here like, all right, Forge, you're doing the most now, bro. Like, this woman is devastated because you promised her that, hey, I can make anything, I can make a machine. And he was like, hey, use your powers, and she,
winds, I command you. She was like, please, wind.
Please.
Quick, come on. Hey, wind.
She was waiting for any type of wind. She was waiting for somebody to even break wind. She was trying to get any type of
earth, wind, and fire. Wind, and
fire, or somebody, and nothing happened. And here he come. Girl, listen, I know you definitely.
She try to hit your man with the Lenny Williams. Girl, I love you.
And I was just like, really, my guy, that quick? Just
terrible timing, yo.
Terrible timing. And so she's like, come to the conclusion, like, yo, I'm just not gonna have my powers or whatever. And then she proceeds to have like a dream or something. It was weird, like a dream or something like that.
Apparition.
Apparition, because early in the episode, she kept saying, hey, that owl is always around or whatever.
Yeah.
And at first I thought it was the Shadow King, thing, because I know,
that would have been dope.
That would have been dope because, Storm has history with the Shadow King from back in the day since she was a child. And
that would have been dope. What's the Shadow King's real name? I forgot his real name, yo.
Yeah, I forgot.
That would have been dope.
That's why I thought they was going, but they didn't go. They didn't go in that direction that we know of right now. I'll just say that because there is a part 2 to this. And what happens, man? She dang on he's like creating some type of collar, armband, or something, and she's like, "What you doing?" She was like, "Hey, I'm still working." She's like, "Oh, you still up working?" He was like, "Yeah, sometimes I build things and I don't even know how I did it or how it works. And I have to build it, but then I have to break it down to fully understand, you know what I'm saying? Then go back and disassemble it to see what it is or whatever." And she was like, "Really?" He was like, "Yeah." So he says, it's not that hard to do. It's kind of what I, kind of like what the executioner did, with his gun. I had to break it down. But he says, I already kind of had a map out for how he created to analyze it. And she's like, what you talking about? Because it started to hit her at this point. And he was just like, yeah, when I was the government, they didn't have the parts or whatever to really, fix me up when I had these injuries and stuff like that. So I was desperate and I was working for the government. And, I created some stuff for them to like, neutralize some bad mutants of under that you know they couldn't control. And she was like, I beg your effing pardon, what you just say?
Yeah.
And that completely killed any mood or any type of draws that he was trying to get from any type of draws he was trying to get from Storm went out the window. And he's kind of like, baby, please, baby, listen to what I was in a bad place. You gotta understand. I was in a bad place, girl. No, I didn't. If I would have knew this was going to happen, I would have never did it. Too late, Jack. She was
Yeah,
pissed
she was
off.
done.
Yeah,
Done.
and she left, and that's where the episode just kind
of ends.
Yeah, it's like an abrupt ending. So there is supposed to be a sequel to this. I think 2 more episodes, like one more a sequel to this episode, but I think that's going to come in 2 weeks because there is another episode.
It's not like in succession. Next episode is
and
totally
that's one thing
different.
X-Men has done and previously, and I like where they will call back to certain things or whatever. So this was an episode where if some people were to say, yeah, this is a filler episode, I really didn't like it, but I can understand it. But the thing about this show is that everything happens for a reason on this show, and that's why before the show starts, you always get the previously on X-Men, then you get the new MCU overture before you go into the X-Men, the X-Men theme song. So, solid X-Men 97 episode. We still got what we got, like six more episodes left. I think we got 5 more.
It's 10 episodes in the season, right?
Yeah, 10 episodes. So I'm just still, like I said, I'm still enjoying this.
Oh yeah, still had a fun time,
and this is a fun time.
Still had a fun time, but yeah, that's all we got for this one. Definitely make sure you come back to the channel. Yes, look back at the stuff again. Other stuff kind of happening when this drops as well. If you watch Shogun, that's gonna be there. Also, got like almost a 4-episode recap for Bad Batch 2. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you watch, listen to that as well. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we also reviewed Godzilla Kong, New Empire. So go back and check that after you've seen the movie, which a lot of y'all actually went and saw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got like a 197 worldwide, which is crazy. Beat Doom. Yeah. Beat Doom too. Anyway, it's what it is. But yeah, so we got. Till next time.